Hello and welcome, ladies, gentlemen, all, back to another episode in this Austro-Hungarian Rise of Flight career. Now, the first order of the day is some information. Vacation is coming up for me, which means I'll be without access to my flight stick for about 2 weeks and change, but I'll try to get some backlog up for you. Even so, a heads up. And again, you're probably used to my disappearing acts by now, I'd wager. Today, very much still a work day, we are going up on a line patrol along a front that is quickly shrinking back towards Russia. It is still early days of the Austrian offensive, but, well, for the first time since the start of the war, pretty much, Austria is actually making gains. Vikram Alexander Spearglass of Vienna, third son, the Galahad of Galicia, snapped off a stern salute. The camp was in disarray, but most of it was arranged around a small wooden platform on which he stood, next to a general he'd never seen, let alone spoken with. The stout officer was extolling Vikram's virtues. "What a man! What an example of all the inherent qualities of the Empire! Something to aspire to!" Vikram aspired to be in the air, not here in the sweltering heat, under the gaze of men who'd likely die within a month, trying to live up to the lies the general was feeding them. He dimly remembered a time when he'd have basked in the praise and adoration. He dimly remembered a time when his friends had been alive and the war was an adventure. Flying, though. Flying still brought him joy. Released his mind from the tyranny of petty things, and when they were engaged, those whirling, diving, climbing, deadly court dances in the sky, his doubts and fears would vanish, and there was only the fight. Vikram lived for those moments now. Vikram knew he'd die for those moments one of these days, and he wouldn't hold any ill will against the man that finally brought him down. "Wouldn't you agree, Lieutenant?" He snapped out of his reverie and nodded, even managing a smile. There was applause, a medal. 4 men were going up at the break of dawn. As Vikram left the stage, he wondered how many of them he'd see again for tea. Right. Here we go. Break of dawn. I have 4 planes in this flight. I have the Oberleutnant to our left, and I'm waiting for his go. And on our right, we have, I think, Corporal Feldwebel. And we are up. A rather gentle day. Clear sky, high clouds, rather light stacks of them. And we are going to egress to the southeast. And now, as we sort of circle the airfield here, or I should say start our egress, I'd like to comment briefly on the new intro and the time it took to get the last video up. Just excuse me 1 second as I make sure that he's still beneath me. We can probably all agree that the intro was long overdue, and the Andante days are far behind us. But what finally forced me to get around to it was the recent merger between 2 companies called Indify and Merlin Symphonic. Now, these are both music distribution groups, and yes, it is that Merlin of YouTube fame. You can guess where this is going, I suppose. Make sure we're lined up. Southeast, pretty much. Right, so, yes. I am mostly exceedingly careful only to use music which is in the public domain or otherwise copyright free, and to credit them appropriately, etc., etc., especially these days. Sometimes this is difficult when you want to use historical music, because even if you use a 120-year-old recording of a piece of wax, if that tune was included in some collection or other, republication, you'll get copyright strikes right away from YouTube's automatic content ID system. This is a bit of a pain, but since I do in fact have the rights to use them, I can contest those claims, and it's normally all hunky-dory. With Merlin, however, it's a bit of a different story, and I'm going to cut that story short. Somewhere in their vast records of album, there's a collection of old historical tunes and marches from the First and Second World War. Not re-recordings mostly, but originals, which, following this merger, made them hit my channel with about 1 billion copyright claims, mostly for the Austrian march Wien bleibt Wien by Johann Schrammel. I can probably throttle up and catch up with them. Yes. Now, so here's the kicker. The song they claim I'm using, the song to which they hold the rights, I presume, is not, in fact, the one I use. It's a different version, which is rather obvious if you listen to them side by side. But the real problem is that any attempts to dispute the claims have been refused immediately, which is actually the first time I've encountered it, a refusal. So basically, I've just lost the control, the rights and revenue from all episodes of this Austro-Hungarian career. It rather bites, to be honest. Now, I could dispute that further, which would likely result in them taking most of my channel content away, like a takedown notice, basically, which isn't all that appealing. I've talked to the representatives over email. I've been officially whitelisted, according to them anyway, but they haven't actually removed any of the claims they've already made, and I actually keep getting more of them. So, too long didn't read of this ramble is that, well, enjoy your $5, Merlin. I'm making a new intro. On the other hand, it was about time. Sorry for that. Yes, that's where we're at. It's time to get back to your regularly scheduled episode of Vikram. And I've been sort of flying the wrong direction for a long time now while I was talking. I thought I was lined up southeast, but I was lined up southwest. No worries. We should outperform them handily in this machine. I think that's them, supposedly. 3 planes flying in a missing man formation. Here's the missing man. I don't know why they're flying back towards the base, though. Have they spotted something? My magic radar hasn't spotted anything. Well, time to crack the wings of this D3. They are turning. Are they coming up to meet me? The AI will sometimes, if you get too far behind, they will sort of stop the mission and they will circle until you catch up. That might be what they're doing, which I appreciate, fellows. Let's see if we can slot into this formation in the correct position, right? Right, managed to hit it just as we are turning north again. Beautiful day for it, eh, chaps? That's not Ram, Commander. Wait, wait, 1 second. That was not. Why on earth is he flying a Halberstadt? These two boys have albatrosses. They're D2s. But I know that bird all too well. That's a Halberstadt. By God. Poor man. Why on earth? Oh, why on earth is the Oberleutnant flying in a Halberstadt? Great plane, mind you, but maybe something for the novices. And we have turned north. Wait, okay. The entire formation is diving. Look. Oh. Oh, look at that. The Russian counterattack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 planes that I can see. What's curious is that the attacking planes, the ones coming right for me, look like FE-2Bs. And that is scary to me because, frankly, the FE-2B has piss-poor defensive capabilities because the gun is in the front, but they're actually incredibly competent as a fighter. Well, not as a fighter because they're rubbish in performance, but they're much more dangerous in an offensive role than they are. Okay, no, I don't like this at all. This is sort of what I've been expecting the FE-2Bs and what they should have been doing this whole time, this whole career, but we haven't really seen them do it. For which we are lucky. But how is he firing through the... That is... I'm sorry, but that's just not a shot he should be able to make. Did I get the gunner? It doesn't seem to be standing up anymore. Let's increase the throttle and get closer. Oh, not that close. Yep, there goes the pilot. This is most irregular. Our friends were dogfighting somewhere down there. Let's see if we can find them. I'm going to use what little time we have before we get into the range of their gunners to climb, get some altitude advantage on them. Looks like our chaps are going head on. Oh, this isn't going to end well for anyone. And we are being fired upon by the lead FE2B. What on earth? Ladies and gentlemen, we are in an actual dogfight with FE2Bs. This is interesting. Oh, got some hits in there. I'm not actually enjoying this. They are far too aggressive for my liking. I like them to sort of just be sat there and they are everywhere. You need to stay out of their guns. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, he's down. I think. Might have gotten the pilot. Let's save our friend, the fighter pilot, from the FE2B on his 6. His engine is out. Don't want to come out in front of him there. Shit's another one. And is that one of them? Yes, it is. Oh, too many targets. Too many targets. Okay, let's just give you about a dozen more rounds. I've never seen such aggressive FE2Bs. And I'm honestly a little frightened. Maybe the Russians ran out of fighters and simply decided to put all their aces into FE2s. Which is a horrifying thing to be faced with as a pilot, but... Is he? Oh no, I thought for a second that the FE2B was chasing. There they are. There they are, all of them. There's the Halberstadt in the front, and an Albatross behind him, and 2 FE2Bs chasing our fighters. Lords and ladies, this is a last-ditch effort of the Russian Empire that I would rather not have seen. This is terrifying. Look at those. Look at that flying. That's a bomber. And he's getting hits. Well, he's not getting hits at the moment, but he will. And now I have to evade because I have a bomber on my 6. This is... I think that gunner's still alive. How are we on ammunition? We're okay. These aren't shots I want to make, to be honest. No, 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 no. Bollocks. heaven. Now I'm risking too much, but that wing is looking very tasty at the moment. And there goes the engine. I'm just going to disengage there, save the ammunition. Yeah, that engine is fucked. Now what's this? FE2? Indeed. I thought for a second they might be DH fighter planes, but no, I think they're actually fighters. Oh, sorry, bombers. With that wingspan, I mean, look at it. Maybe I'm just... no, wait, of course I'm stupid. The fighters have a forward-facing machine gun, not a gunner. That's that gunner, so that engine down. Gunner's still alive there. I see the engine stopped. Peel away and climb. Search for another target. We still have enough fight in us for maybe one more. 2 if we're lucky with the shots. Or careful, I should say. Now that's one of ours. 2 of ours. Okay, good. That's the one I shot. Are they all down? No, they're not. There's one last, but it seems we have gotten the better of them. Giving off some puffs of smoke, but I don't think we've sprung a leak. I don't think I've ever been forced to maneuver so hard on account of bombers before. My friends are diving to the deck. Is the plane down? Looks like it. Yep, now I can hear the engine. And our friends are going where exactly? If anyone puts that down in the logbook as we attacked a formation of bombers, I will call them a liar. We were attacked by a formation of bombers. They turned and came straight for us. Guns blazing. Wow, what a harrowing thing. It kind of went well, but I've lost out in dogfights before against FE2Bs. If there's a group of them, just has to be one that gets on your 6 and you're pretty much, well, your goose is pretty much cooked. We should be back on our, yeah, heading west, trying to get back to the waypoints. I shall make a cut here, and I'll see you in a little bit. Curious, we're still heading west. Oh, okay. Well, I guess they called it quits. Seems fair, actually. Did we just lose one? I could have sworn I saw 3 planes. Is he underneath me? Above? What? Strange. Very well. This was a more intense dawn patrol than I would have thought. Unexpected. Compared to the, I will admit, rather easy dogfights we've had in the past few days against this Newport 17 that just sort of freeze and behave like bombers. I had a bit of a scare today. We were fortunate that we were able to isolate them one-on-one, because I wouldn't dare to think what could have happened if we had to face those 4 dogfighting like that as a cohesive unit. Oh wait, there is number 3. I just didn't see him. It's right in front of me the entire time. I had a heart all along. Well, nothing remains now but to cruise back home and set down. Over there. So, let's do a couple of skips. Reduce to 15. Keep it over about 15. Looks like we have a stiff crosswind actually. I'm going to come in and land from this side. Turbulent here, and level out, hold her, stall down on the deck, keep her there. And we are down. Righto. Can go ahead and turn the engines off there. Close the radiators. Not going to stick around for my wingman to crash on landing. Very well, I hope you chaps and chapettes have a lovely summer. Fly safe, and I'll see you next time.